All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with an impressive sighting solution for your AR-15 platform, and these are actually iron sights from Excess Sights. And the cool thing about these is not only are they built incredibly well, they have a tritium front sight post, making them the first I've seen anyways of iron sights that are actually night sights. They also offer a wide variety of sighting solutions for the Glock and all types of different handguns, and we'll be looking at their Excess Sight night sights today as well, the R3D night sights in the green color. If you're not partial to the green, they also have the orange. And again, check out their website for a wide variety of sighting solutions for a ton of different handguns and now even rifles. Now, they actually grabbed an ad spot on another video, but it just wasn't going to be long enough to explain the sights in detail, and I felt like this deserved its own complete video. When I see something as cool and unique as this, it really deserves to be a fully produced video so you guys understand exactly what you're getting, especially something unique as these flip up sights on the AR-15. Now, we're going to talk about those in a second, but I do want to discuss the night sights that they have on the Glocks. Now, I selected this version to try on my Glock 34. They drop right onto any full-size Glock, and they assembled very simply. It pressed on the back very securely with a sight pusher tool, and I attached the front sight. Now, unfortunately, because of YouTube's policies, I can't show that on camera, but just know it was super easy to install. They even include the red Loctite substance in the box, so you don't have to go out and buy that. And they also include the front sight post tool, which is absolutely awesome. Everything inside the box. These also come in very affordable considering some other iron sights at around $115, even cheaper depending on the configuration you select. I picked the ones that have the tritium in the rear and the front, but you can get much cheaper if you just pick the tritium in the front. And a lot of guys do that for point shooting at night. Most personal defense situations, you're going to be picking up that front sight post and using muscle memory anyway, and that's a good way to save yourself some money, but I felt like I'd try the full set of sights here. Now, when you're picking up these sights, as you can see in the intro, that green dot pops up incredibly nice in the daytime, almost as like a red dot or a green dot, and it fits perfectly in those slots in the back. It's got a little room on both sides, but not too much room to where you get sloppy with your sights. So these would be a good set of precision sights and defensive sights. Also, in that side, that green ring, it does have that tritium tube, allowing it to glow in the dark. And it's not really glowing in the dark, it's emitting its own light. So unlike a lot of other kind of like those glow in the dark night sights, you don't have to like charge them up or worry about them dying. This is going to last you a very long time. The lifespan and all of that information can be found on their website, and everything about these sights is just absolutely awesome. They're an all metal design, and on the front right here you can see this flat shelf. Now, a lot of guys that they don't worry about something like this, but I like it. If you go down one hand for one reason or another, you'll be able to rack the slide with your sights themselves, and since they're metal, they're not going to snap off on you like plastic sights. So if you have a sharp edge of a table or something like that, or your belt or your holster, you can actually rack the slide from those sights themselves, which is another nice touch. They stick up far enough to do that, but not overly large to be cumbersome. If you do want them a lot taller, though, if you're running a suppressor or something like that, they have those options on their website, so definitely check them out. And we're going to be putting this to the side and talking about the AR Iron Sight night sights, because these things are just absolutely awesome. All of them have their no questions asked excess warranty, and I love that. I love when a company really stands behind their products, because not all companies can be perfect. Inevitably, occasionally, something might go wrong, and you want a solid warranty, and this company has that. I can't stand when you call a company and say, well, you've had it for 6 months, so it's out of warranty. That's so frustrating. So let's take a look at these sights on the AR-15 platform, and we'll start with the rear. And one of the first things I noticed was when you're flipping them up and down, there is no play side to side in these sights. They are machined perfectly, and the tolerances are incredibly tight on these sights, and that's what you want to see on iron sights. They're also built well and machined nicely, and have a steel insert nut on the other side to clamp down the rail system, so you don't have to worry about them stripping out. They're not spring-loaded, but I don't mind that. I'd rather them be built like a tank and not spring-loaded. So you just flip them up, no need to press a button, and they lock into place. There is almost no wobble back and forth, but they do lock up solid, and they have some pretty impressive detents on the windage adjustments. Listen to these right here. It is definitely like a ball bearing detent style, and they have some protective hoods going up over the apertures. So it's got the large aperture for CQB and low light situations, personal defense situations. Then you have the small aperture for precision shooting. And with that small aperture, you actually also get this notch right here, which corresponds with the front sight post where you can line that up. So it's got a lot of different variations in the back. They also have anti-glare serrations on the rear of the sight themselves to knock down glare. Now, I've never had to use something like that, but it's nice that they've included those, and it's very well thought out. This entire sighting setup is very impressive, and it screams quality. Probably one of the nicest iron sight setups I've ever seen, and that's not even including talking about the tritium. So you can see it's got a white spot around the tritium itself, helping you pick it up during the day. Again, kind of following that excess sights model. It allows you to pick it up in the day, and it allows you to pick it up at night. Again, same thing. You depress the button to lower it down. It locks up solid, and then it's got those protective ears around the front sight post, and that tritium tube in the front really picks up nicely at night. Shut off all the lights in the room, and this is the first set of iron sights I've been able to use for a personal defense situation at night. Well, I didn't use them in a personal defense situation. I simulated one inside the house. Shut off the lights, pulled up the sights, and you could actually pick this up in a dark situation and really make out what you were looking at. And then you can turn on your lights if you have a weapons mounted light, but this gives you so many opportunities in low light situations that you wouldn't have with traditional iron sights. I know a lot of guys are throwing red dots on and really leaving iron sights behind, but I strongly recommend you learn how to shoot with iron sights. You put them on the AR-15s you own, because you never know what's going to happen with your red dot. And if you can flip these up through your red dot, you can co-witness incredibly easy. And if your red dot goes down, you still have something to emit light in the front, very similar to a red dot that you can use in a personal defense situation. So if you want to spend a little extra on these sights, I think they're worth it. Now, that's about the only downfall I could see. These aren't the cheapest sights in the world. For the set, they come in right at about $250-ish, depending on the configuration you select. And that's kind of is what it is. You're getting a solid built iron sight setup, and that's the price of a lot of other very nice iron sight setups. But this one, you actually get the tritium front sight, which blows me away, and I feel like it's worth every penny. You can also just grab the front sight or just grab the rear sight, so you could potentially pick up that tritium stripe front sight only for $128, which would be pretty cool right there. And then you can build out, if you already had a rear sight and you just wanted to grab the front sight and didn't want to spend the full money, that would be a great way. Like if you already had an iron sight setup you liked, you could just grab that front tritium sight, because that is just awesome. Now, I don't want to negate the rear sight. It is very nicely done, and I feel like if you've got the money, it's definitely worth picking up the entire set. They flow nicely together. They work well together, and I absolutely love this sighting setup, and I can definitely recommend it. All of the information and linking will be in the description below, but I'm going to flash these guys up right here, and you guys can pause it if you want to gather any more information about XS sights. So a huge shout out to these guys. A huge shout out for sending them over for us to try. That guy right there. And a huge shout out to these guys for supporting the channel. They just want a 30-second, 60-second ad spot, but they deserved, something like this deserves a lot more. When I see something like this, I know it's got to get a full review so you guys understand what it is. This is an absolutely awesome product, and I'm super glad I got a chance to try them out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.